Hi.
Hello.
Yeah, today we're gonna talk about how do the elements of our production work together to create a sense of branding. Yeah. The first part is
The game.
Yeah.
So first we needed an idea, and we were thinking about what should be the main part of our idea, and lots of things came in mind. But long story short, we ended up fixing on the game called Werewolf, and this is what we decided to base our narrative on. And with that, after we tested it out and realized we liked it, we thought, okay, what's so significant in this game? What's gonna be the main focus of this game? And we thought the cards. This is the most important bit, the cards, because the cards give you the identity for the role that you're playing in the game.
Yeah, like Stanford prison experiment.
Yeah, when they did their experiment, they assigned roles, whoever's going to be the guard and who's going to be the prisoner. The game kind of does that, except you've got the characters on a piece of card and it's completely random.
Yeah, so our branding actually starts from there. And we decided to use cards as our branding, so we need to focus on that, pay attention to that, and design our own cards rather than using the cards already existed. So we thought about it, but the original card is like black and white, and the frame is like okay. So we want a golden frame. So it was really stand out as a branding, like give you a first impression.
And also kind of adds to the effect, because this game is set in kind of like a village, medieval kind of setting. So the gold, like the old gold, looks much better when you actually play it.
And we did research of cards, what image we want on the card. And we use just a wing for angel.
Yeah.
We don't want to use a girl, because in a game you don't know who you are.
Because even though we decided which character is going to have which thing, in the actual game you wouldn't have it. So we tried to remove gender as much as possible. Though the villagers do have like their boy or girl, it doesn't really matter. But like things for like the lovers, we don't want like a set binary genders in it.
Just half hearts. You can tell they're lovers, but you don't know it's boy or girl. Okay. Yeah. And no, it doesn't matter what image we put on, the frame stays the same.
Yeah.
The frame stays like the same in every cards.
Yeah. So then after we were like, okay, so we have the images that we kind of like, that we would like, which we really like actually, that we wanted on the cards. How are we going to do it? None of us are good at drawing. Both of us are terrible.
Yeah.
So we thought, okay, let's find someone else to do it, or we could Photoshop it and make it our own. But then we just found someone in year 10 that actually did this really well, and he's a great artist and he's willing to help, luckily. And we got him to start doing it, and then we got the original cards, which are right here. The original drawings, which is really nice. I really like them. And then we thought about what is going to be in the back, because so far it's just the front. And the more we thought about it, the more we were like, okay, let's kind of do like a repetitive design. So this is kind of like some of the stuff that she drew that she thought maybe, because we wanted to keep the black
I'm not sure.
and gold thing.
Yeah, this is thing I drew, but I was not so sure if we're gonna use it.
No,
but
it was just
at that time we kind of ran out of time. So we just ideas.
Yeah, I mean, we told him, like, he said that he would figure something out, and we wanted repetitive designs, but he decided on something a bit different. And so we got the design that he wanted, which is fantastic, but unfortunately it is copyrighted, and so we of course didn't want to use it, so we decided on something else, and then that's when we kind of quickly put together
this doesn't work, by the way. This is not the final design.
No, none of these actually. In the end we kind of went with something that we didn't really expect to.
Yeah, it is about printing now. I think we could do better actually. We spend more time and more money on it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, as you can see, the original card, the frame is like gold.
It's more prominent, the color is stronger.
And when we print out, it's yellow. The York yellow. Do you know the difference between these two? Yeah, so I think it kind of not destroyed the branding, but it didn't make it stronger.
I think because when we have the shot of the cards, it's not as great as we wanted it to be.
You can't see the shiny part, and it's yellow, it's not gold. So yeah, that's the problem when we print out that And I think if we spend more time on it, we can make the branding like stronger.
Yeah,
by doing it on the right, like in a right color.
Yeah, I think if we spend more time editing it and making the actual image sharper and with add contrast, etc., it would have been better when it was printed. But
yeah, maybe next time.
Yeah.
At least it's like the tone is like warm yellow. At least it's not green, blue.
At least the image is there.
Yeah.
So that was the final bit, and then after started thinking about how else can we kind of repeat this strong image brands, and I thought
in the film we wanted.
Thought about like for the titles to kind of have like cards falling down, and then after once it falls down we have the title, the Epiphany. However, that would have taken a really long time, and I've been practicing animation for this, but it takes quite a long time to do this, and we didn't have enough time to do this. So maybe some other time if I get to practice more of my animation. But
yeah, if we got that animation at the beginning of the short film, it will be a really strong branding.
Yeah, we changed it a little bit. We changed it a little bit. It's still the werewolf theme, so I'm glad that we kind of stuck to that. But it's a little bit different.
Okay, at least it stays in the same style.
Now about postcards.
This
postcards.
This is one of our minor tasks. We use cards to create our postcards. This is not so complicated. We just use card image on the postcard. Okay, as you can see.
That I could do in time.
So we use cards to create. We didn't create a branding actually. We make it stronger. Yeah. And the postcard I would say is amazing. It's amazing work. Okay.
We both love it so much.
And you can see the color didn't change. That's good.
Yeah, so talking about the original idea. So we wanted originally to kind of have it like this. I know this is a very large image, but we decided to kind of have it like a portrait on the postcard and to kind of keep it, but it was way too static. It was not moving, it was boring to look at, and it wouldn't grab someone's attention at a film festival. So
and this is just, and we can't put much information on that.
No.
To be honest, just be honest.
I mean, we can kind of squeeze it in around, but it just doesn't give us enough for the tagline or the synopsis or even the title, to be honest. It just kind of took away a lot of space. It wasn't eye-catchy. It wasn't what we really needed.
It can be a branding. It can be the branding of cards. It is the card image, but it's not great. So we change it. I came up some ideas and I drew it on my notebook. Layouts, they're not great, but you can see more movements. These ideas came from like a Google image. I didn't copy it. I just see their movements with different letters, like letter or something. So I'm like, why don't we just have more movements? Yeah, it would be much better and much more space to write down information, right? So this is layouts. But actually the first one is the best because give you effect of the cards falling down on the table and you can't see the complete cards. So I think it will evoke curiosity. Right?
Yeah, it really gets your attention because you're kind of like, what is that? I don't understand. Why is there half a wing there?
But you still can see it is the card. This is important because it's our base, like the base of branding. So you can tell it's card. The gold really gets you.
Yeah, so going with that idea, I started messing around with Photoshop, well first Publisher then Photoshop, trying to see like what ideas, and we printed lots of things here, just lots of tries and things. So the original, one of the ideas was to kind of have one on each corner, kind of like that. And like this, which is kind of like 3. So this is what we were kind of going about, and the more we thought about it, the more that we kind of like the 3 being there.
Yeah.
So then with that idea, we were like, okay, so what do we do now? We've got 3 images there. What can we do to kind of add things around? And the more we thought about adding the title and the thing, so we have the Epiphany there in the middle, which I thought was really good because it really gets you, this is the title, this is something that should get your attention.
And even the fonts make the branding stronger.
Yeah, just the kind of keeping up with the kind of medieval old gold kind of feeling
We
to
didn't
it.
use really modern fonts.
No, and
A lot of them are really cute.
it's quite simple and
Yeah.
it's not cursive or anything. So with that, we put it in the middle. With that, I kind of made it a bit curved and things. So then we thought, okay, we'll put the synopsis over there at the end. Where the hell do we put the tagline now? And thinking about it, we just kind of got to the point where I was like,
Yeah.
hey, why don't we put it inside the card?
Yeah.
It saves us some space. It keeps up with the idea of using the cards and the frames for the branding. So why not? And we tried it and we actually really liked it in the end. I think it turned out a lot better than both of us was expecting it to.
So because the printing job is quite good this time. So
Yeah, so it turned out well. I mean, this time when we printed it out, it turned out a lot better as we wanted it to. Even the back of it with the kind of credits being the lines even ended up really good. The color, which was a bit surprising, but we did edit this a lot, so.
yeah. So talking about tagline, the original here is jeweled scalp rather than the tagline. We want to use the first reason as when you are reading, this is the first part you're gonna do. This part or the title. So we kind of use the branding again inside the frame. Yeah, because frame is our branding, or you can say card, but this is still a card just with a tagline in it. Yeah. Talking about the postcard, we need to mention Short Film Festival.
Yeah, speaking of short film festivals, this is made for a short film festival,
Yeah.
and the one that we've decided that we'll be showing is the 25 FPS Festival, which is here in Croatia, and it's a really good festival because it really is made for short films. There's categories just for the short
Yeah.
films, and we think that this is something that will grab their attention. Of course, it is quite, I would say so, quite eye-catching, and it does seem to evoke some interest in it.
Yeah, because when you are in a short film festival, the main image will be shown on it and it will give your first impression. This is your first impression. So when you get the first impression, you get the branding. Talk about characters, costumes, props.
Yes.
Yeah. I think we really create unique and contrast extreme characters in the film.
Well, stereotypical, but not cliche, really.
Yeah. In the film, we have Sean and Lucy, werewolf and angel in the game. Yeah. Sean is a really invisible but really nice Asian representation. Yeah. And Lucy is a really mean and pretty girl. If you have watched Mean Girls, you will know Regina George, right? That's Lucy, basically.
Yeah.
And it follows two characters actually, Joker and Batman. I know they're not similar with Sean and Lucy, but they created really extreme characters, and that's like one of their brandings. Because you will remember the creepy face for Joker and the impressive cap for Batman. Cape. Yeah. But we didn't do very well on that.
I feel like there's a lot of places that we could have improved for the costume.
And to make it more extreme, more clear,
Yeah.
and the branding will be stronger, hopefully. But
Yeah, I mean, we did have some interesting props, I think, that kind of really reflects the characters. Like, we do have the werewolf mask, which looks better at nighttime when it's used, so that's
Yeah.
good. And we do have the wings that she is wearing, and which is black, which is really important because Angel is not a nice person, even though she's been given the character of Angel.
we kind of balance night costumes with
Break ones.
Yeah, because Daybreak is like okay, very simple, but we got color right, just very simple. We don't have skirt. or
No, I
dress.
mean, we had to try to make sure that the people who are playing in the film felt comfortable in those clothes, because otherwise they're just going to constantly be irritated by it and we're going to have problems, and they're going to keep asking us if they can change. So of course we wanted to make sure they felt comfortable in their own clothes as well.
Yeah.
But to be fair, if we had a bit more money and time, I think that we could have done the costumes and props a lot better than we did now.
Or we can spend more time with the actors, just talk
Yeah.
to them and ask. because this time we kind of like in a hurry, so we didn't do very well.
Yeah, and it's also the fact that some of them are really hard to kind of get a hold of and talk to. So sometimes we're just trying to find any moment that we can to like sit them down and talk to them. This is what we need. Do you have something like that?
Yeah, we want to make the branding strong. We kind of create a branding here. We didn't use like card as the branding at this moment. Yeah.
But we have very relatable characters, I feel.
Yeah.
And even though sometimes they're a bit on the extreme side, they're still relatable.
Yeah. So yeah. Wait. I think I have more to say.
What about makeup? We didn't put much effort in makeup.
Just one sentence.
The other thing is I would say is that for makeup, like the Joker has that face paint and the makeup going on really strong. We don't really have that. We do have some makeup, like Lucy's character wears a lot of pink going on because that's kind of like, again, going with Regina George, kind of making the femininity in her really strong, but
you can't really tell.
No.
Makeup is too light.
I think so, yeah.
I mean, you think it's really heavy when you see it, but in the film, it's not.
Not
really
as heavy as we thought it would be, to be honest. So I think we could have done the costume a bit better, again with the makeup as well.
Yeah, but beside that, during the night, the costume is okay because
I think so.
wings.
Yeah, luckily we got some wings and things. Yeah, the flower crown for the druid.
So we kind of balance it.
I will say that the color scheme for all of them fit really well, I think, because even though they kind of have like this blue-gray kind of thing going on, the main characters stick out quite a bit, except for Sean, but we didn't want him to stick out. We wanted him to kind of blend in.
Sean actually sticks out in a very subtle way.
Yeah, but like characters such as Dawn has such quite a, like a bright hoodie on, or a character like Lucy's wearing pink. She's the only one wearing pink in that room. Druid is Irene who's wearing white. She's the only one pretty much wearing something as white as that.
Yeah.
So
hopefully people will remember Lucy and Sean after they watch the film. So this part we're gonna talk about Stanley, called Huge Frame actually. Stanley is just another name for it. Yeah. This is an idea from Instagram. I think everybody knows it, right? Yeah, I know everybody knows it. Yeah.
popular social media.
This is cutout frame, and Instagram did the same thing. If you saw it before, yeah. This is actually also for the idea of the cards. I think it's really obvious. There's no way you work like it will remind you of the card, right? Even the color is quite similar. Yeah, so we support the original branding, use Sandy, and we keep the consistency of elements to make the branding stronger because the frame is the same. Yeah.
So this was quite a fun thing to create, but kind of frustrating because we kept thinking about, okay, so we're gonna do this. First of all, we don't have that much time, we don't have that much money, what are we gonna do? So then first we thought about cardboard. So we've thought about something like this, not exactly this shape, but you know, something like this thickness, something that you can be used. But then we thought about it, and I especially didn't want that because we would have to paint it white and then get it to be gold because the actual frame is a white card. And it kind of goes with it. And then we were like, okay, no, that can't be it. So let's see, what if they have an actual frame that we can use and just paint it gold?
I strongly against it.
Yes, she was very much against it, and I see why, and I totally agree in hindsight thinking about it, because getting the frame is more expensive, it wouldn't fit to what we wanted, and it may not even go well with the paint.
And the point of cut-off frame is not using the actual frame, actually.
Yeah, it was supposed to be a bit more fun, it was supposed to be a bit more light-hearted, it's a way to get involved, you know. So then we thought, okay, we found some foam board, and we were like, free foam board, especially important. And so we were like, okay, maybe this would work. Although it's a bit fragile, so we kind of got like cardboard on the back of it just to kind of keep it pulled up.
Yeah.
It still has been holding up pretty well considering how much we've used it so far, because we have taken pictures with this and used this. But talking about the making of it, we decided, okay, now we need some paint and something gold. So then we've got some acrylic gold paint, which actually turned out so much better than we thought.
Much better than the print out cards, the color.
Yeah, really, and this was actually actually kind of great. This gold paint turned out to be really good for us, and it didn't damage the foam board.
Because the paint is really important for the sanding. If we want to do the consistency, the color needs to be really, really similar.
Yeah,
And
and
the same.
you couldn't really tell exactly how the color is going to be on the foam, because we thought, oh my god, what if we need to paint it over and over again? We don't have time for this. This took us like 3 days because we had to keep waiting for the paint to dry and go from there.
And after that, we let actors get involved because we thought about audience. Even though people who holding the frame are different, the frame stays the same.
Yeah.
The more time you take photo with the frame, the more time people will remember the frame, and when you repeat, this is the branding well stuck in their head. I'm sure about that.
So then we were thinking about, okay, so how can we get the audience to be involved? Because of course this is what they want to do. So we got the actors and actresses involved, we got involved, so now it's time for the audience to get involved. And this is going to be shown in like theaters and also in film festivals, and we thought, okay, let's take the standee to them, so that when they're going to watch our film, or before or even after, they can actually take pictures with it. And we thought this was really good, because in my personal experience, I have taken pictures with standees, because of course, why wouldn't you? From animated films to Twilight and things like that. It stuck with me. It really did, and I think that our audience will remember it too.
Yeah, so it is like a thing. Once you take photo with it, you will never forget it, because it's amazing. I believe on it.
Yeah, she really believes in it so much.
Because we did quite good on standards, I would say.
Yeah.
I want to talk about some negative sides, but personally I feel like this is really good.
Yeah, I don't really think there isn't too many negative sides. I think even the way that we did it kind of worked. I mean, even got it all curved in the edges and everything. That's hard, okay? This foam plastic is very hard to cut.
This part we're gonna do social media. A lot of people think that's not important, but I think it's really important. I mean, if you're a filmmaker, you make a branding, that's a branding you think they will accept, audiences, but you need response from them. So first we think about Facebook. We decide to post cards, those cards, PDF doc, on Facebook. So every week, because it's important to meet consumers' demand to strengthen the elements of branding already existed in a film, because we have cards in the film and we wanted to make it stronger. And let audience involved to increase the loyalty, because in Facebook they can talk to us, they can leave comments, and they can even get it printed out. So I think we really get engaged with them and let them engage with branding. If you have ever watched Dark Knight, the marketing part, because they did an event called Tracking the Joker. I just watched the video and it stuck in my brain somehow. Because if you engage with the audience, it will be like they just cannot forget it.
I kind of went on to a bit more on Twitter and Instagram, because I think those are also really important, because as important as Facebook is, it doesn't reach out to the same amount of audience as Twitter and Instagram does. Twitter is one of the best social medias to actually engage with the audience, because at least I think so, because you get to tweet to the actors and actresses in it, you get to tweet to the company who would produce this, etc., and directors. And you'll see so many social media, even The Martian has the Bring Meme Home going on, where basically you take a picture and then you have it edited to a certain way and then you hashtag it. And that's mostly in Twitter and in Instagram. So it's really good to kind of get it involved. There's even YouTube shows called Sorted Food that has a hashtag just for it. It's a really good way to engage with the audience, and I think it applies the same thing as doing it with film.
Yeah, the thing we want to put social media in a sense of branding is we want to talk to them, engage, get their response.
Yeah, get them to play the game as well. kind of just like.
Yeah, because the branding we think it is a branding, it's not necessarily they think it's a branding.
Yeah, it's very important to make sure that they accept the brand and they take it on with you and make it even bigger than it was before, because
Yeah.
it is to get their attention.
If
So-
they respond to it, then we did create a branding. If they don't respond it, I'm not sure we create a branding
Yeah.
actually. Yeah.
So I think we did okay in this bit. I felt like we could have been a little bit more active on the social media, but otherwise I think
Yeah, I mean we could really
be a lot more active.
yeah, regularly post things, but we'll do it. I mean next time
Yeah, I think
why people to do it maybe.
since we see the importance of it, I think we really realized how important it was this time, so that next time we can do it a lot more often and get it. Like last year, I did not do nearly enough about social media, and I didn't realize exactly how important it was. And this year, I really did.
Yeah, because social media is a tool you can
Yeah,
strengthen
just-
your brand and distribution and you know.
Yeah. And side note, I didn't realize how affected I was about it till I started thinking about it. It's like honestly, I would just kind of Facebook and tweet it all away, and it would just be like so normal for me. Like I would be going onto the Marvel's Deadpool's Instagram, and I'd just be totally like engaging with everything, and I didn't realize that I would be affected by this.
Yeah. Not cut. So this is the part. How do our elements create elements of our production work create a sense of branding? We did much better this year, and I think I'm okay with it. I mean, you never got enough time to do it, so yeah, I'm okay with it.
Overall, I think it was okay.
Yeah, and we did put a lot of effort on it.
Yeah.
I'm not regretting anything. Just
I didn't regret anything. I just wish we had more hours in the day.